Hello there, and welcome to Recon Paint Gaming. I'm Patrick. Today we're bringing you a special event we were able to run over at the Battle Standard in Windsor, Connecticut. We were able to host a 3-round tournament with the new XWA points, and thankfully the players were allowing me to record. I wasn't able to play in this. Also, I couldn't, live commentary or stream it because there was no one to do so. I was TOing and judging at the same time. But this is what I'm going to be able to bring you today. We've got 3 rounds recorded. I'm going to try to get one out each week and bring you guys some X-Wing action. So we've got Rebel versus Rebel to start us off in the first round. Zach and Matt, we're doing the assault at the satellite array. You'll see my feet right there in the top left walking around doing judge stuff. And we will cover the lists first. So Zach with Rourke Garnett, Moldy Crow, the Ion Bombs, and Leia Organa. Wedge with the servo motors, R3 Astromech, Swarm Tactics, and Deadeye. You can see where that's going. Benthic 2 tubes with Pivot Wing, Contraband Cybernetics, Perceptive Co-Pilot, and Hera, as well as a Blade Squadron Veteran Go Generics with just stabilized S-foils. Matt over here with a list that some might be familiar with if they played original X-Wing from FFG, 200 points. You've got Hera with Swarm Tactics. There's a theme here. Fire Control Systems, Concussion Bombs, S-stabilized foils. The Jan Ors with just Moldy Crow upgrade, Wolf Wario with Trick Shot, Wedge Antilles with Starboard Slash and Predator, and Arvel with Intimidation, an amazing classic. So, without further ado, we've already started the round. I've got the score sheet in front of me so we can go over who scores what, and we'll just be doing some nice side commentary. But this was so much fun to host. Everyone was asking me, please play, are you going to play? And I said, I can't. Because I wanted there to be a nice round number. I don't like playing in these tournaments and having a bye. It just doesn't sit right with me. So 10 people showed up. We did have more signed up or looking to come. We had like 12, but 2 of them couldn't make it. And that was perfect because then we had a nice round 10 number. And we were able to get this all wrapped up before the store closed at about 10:30, which is great. The prizes were phenomenal. If I ever host another tournament or a league, please come out and play, because we're going to cover in the channel, what's been going on with me and Robert and the channel and what's been happening with X-Wing. We have not gone away, trust me. Life finds a way to be impeding as possible. And I couldn't be any happier right now with where we are. And at least we can now bring you guys some content, and here it is. So we've got Assault at the Satellite Array. You've got the Rebels on the left with Zach. They are grouped up in a corner. You will definitely see why eventually with the Swarm Tactics tactic. Haha. And then we've got a classic with Matt's list with Wolf Wario. You can see just dropped a bomb turn 1 on Wolf Wario. And you're like, why? It's because when Wolf Wario has a damage card on him, he gets to add an extra attack die, and because it's concussion, it goes under the shields instead of having to reduce his shields and then take a damage onto the hull. So it's just a neat little trick. I haven't seen it in such a long time. And then, of course, you got Janors on the right side that can pump up Wolf Wario, so it goes from 3 to 4 because he's damaged, then 5 if it's Jan, and then 6 if it's range 1. It's a neat little trick. Wolf Wario's tough enough to where he can survive a round or 2 of shooting. So you can try to get in there range 1 and just absolutely cremate something before he eats it. Because Wolf Wario is only 4 points. That's basically the trick there. And I believe that's Arvel screaming up the right side there. I love Zach's tactics. Basically, with Rourke, he can make something I7. And then with Swarm Tactics, which he has on Wedge as well, he can not only pass Wedge's I6, he can also, Rourke someone to I7, which could be Wedge, and then Swarm Tactics right back, and basically making something, 2 of his ships shoot first before anything else. Zach did okay. He did really well during the tournament for his first tournament, because he is a relatively new player, which is great. We've had a ton of them at the store. But people were getting really pissed at his tactics. Not pissed angrily, but just like laughing at the fact that, the fact that this thing can shoot before everything and just wipe stuff off the table. Which I started laughing immediately when he started talking to me about his list. I was like, oh, yep, definitely. I know what you're doing. It's great. No one's going to have a problem with this at all. All right, and we have Hera. She's swooping around because now that she's dropped the bomb on Wolf, she can be free to do other things as well. I'm going to try to keep the score up to date and also the turn counter. I have not done this in a very long time. I'm trying to look for the turn counter as I speak. And, oh, there it is. No, yeah, turn tracker, perfectly. All the way down there. And I'm going to do so many shout-outs. I mean, thank you to Yazby or Yazo, the Yaz overlay system, for allowing me to record this and do all this from the comfort of my home. Thank you to, you know, geez, you've got Yazby, the list builder, and also the whatchamacallit. Oh my god, I'm about to say list juggler, but that's not what I'm thinking of. There we go. Launch Bay next. Thank you for that. Thank you for Roll Better for making that software easy. There were some glitches, but we got past them. We were able to fix them. Special thank you to Chuck Crawford. A special thank you to everyone who signed up and showed up. Thank you to Kenny, one of our local players, who donated some prizes. Thank you to the X-Wing Alliance group, which actually one of the gentlemen playing in this tournament is a part of the X-Wing Alliance, so that was fun for him to show up because he's running his own tournaments. I wish I could make it to his tournament, but I had to start this one at 4:30 on a Saturday because that's basically when I get out of work. So I had to hustle over to the store and start setting up, which was perfect. I think we were dials down by 5 o'clock, even though, or no, probably 5:30, because I said dials down at 5, but we got it at 5:30. And this place, the Battle Standard, amazing place. If you've been to the Battle Standard before, they've definitely changed some. They've moved now to exit 45 rather than 44, and they have an indoor restaurant and also bar, so people were able to buy drinks and also order drinks as well. And everyone just had a great old time. All reminiscing, all talking about the good old days, and hopefully getting ready to start some new, new memories. And also, we've still have got Worlds coming up. XWA is definitely planning on running tournaments and setting stuff up. And we're able to, I'm hosting another league already at this store, which I'll probably I'll try to do a video on that as well, because the nice little fun Christmas Life Day theme for the league. I was able to play it last night, and it was a blast. All right, I'm not sure why the bomb is still on the table. It did go off. It did damage Wolf Wario, so it should come off, and now Wolf Wario is going to go up to 4 attack dice on the average. They're still setting dials, and you can see Wolf Wario took the strain as well, because it is a concussion bomb, and that keeps it face down, but it does strain him. All he has to do is do a blue maneuver, and that thing's cleared. All right, and the reason for Robert being absent today is because he is on a honeymoon. It's 25 years, so give a shout out in the comments below. Happy anniversary, Robert. They are on a nice cruise. I'll try to get him on here so we can do some commentating and watch another video and go over some of the rounds, because we do have some Empire. We did have some Resistance. CIS, I don't think, made an appearance. Neither did the Galactic Republic. So it was very interesting to see what the meta is going to shape out. So I'm already starting to build CIS lists, because I want them to make an appearance in the store. And not many people are used to seeing them. Yep, there's the bomb coming off. Perfect. All right. Yep, so we got Benthix coming up. He loves the ability, of course, taking 2 focus with the Perceptive Co-Pilot and then passing it off to whomever needs it for that round. Plus, you got Rourke with the Moldy Crow title, also storing focus. Just a super action economy list. And it's great, because then that frees up for taking locks, getting rerolls, taking the occasional, evade if you have that ability or option. And I really like the fact that I saw generics at this tournament. That's the first thing that I started noticing immediately, is people taking generic ships. And, not stacking them, not taking advantage of them and running, oh, I can take 7 generics and then just running that as a list. No, people were mixing and matching, which you should. I mean, well, I'll do a whole video on why generics should be in the game and why AMG shouldn't have phased them out like they did. But that's just me. All right, we did do random timed rounds as well. So, and this is what's funny. You're supposed to roll 3 dice. I just, asked my Google to flip a coin and let me know how many minutes I should go for. So I can't remember how long this round went for. I think this was the round that was shorter, so it was like 73 minutes. It didn't really matter, honestly. Even if you gave it extra few minutes or didn't, you basically knew who the winners were. There were a lot of close games, which were amazing, huge swings and stuff like that. Those, because at one point you will look at a table and it'll be like, 16-5, and you're like, oh, okay, that game's pretty much wrapped up. And then all of a sudden you come back and it's 20-16. You're like, wait, you won, right? And they're like, no. Like, oh my God, what happened? He goes, I don't know. I just started falling apart. And that's the great thing about these scenarios. You see people taking a commanding lead in the beginning, and then they start to fall apart because of the positioning that they put themselves in. And speaking of positioning, so there's Wolf Wario. He is coming in as fast as he can. It's a moderate fast ship. I think they can do basically 3s and maybe a 4 straight. And then, and slow rolling Jan Ors. So this is interesting tactic by Matt, because Zach is going to be out in front, maybe taking out Arvel, and then also taking out Wedge, which I believe is in the green ship. And if that's the case, then, it's not a commanding lead for Zach, but it's possibly 2 ships he can get off the board. Oof, and there's another bump by Zach. Yeah, always put his ships too tight. So, I even told him, I think during the 2nd or 3rd round, what you should do when you want to fly in formation, take a range 1 ruler and put a ship down. Then, if you want to fly a ship next to it, take the range 1 ruler, put it right in front of the first ship to where the sides line up, and then match up the ship to the other side of that range 1. That is the perfect distance required in order to keep your ships from bumping when you do those 45-degree turns with your banks. Because what everyone, forgets is when the ships twist, their corners will extend how far they reach out, and you can easily bump into yourself. So that's just one of the, I think it's in our formation flying that Birdo did all those years ago. It's like one of our most popular videos. So please go check that out. And see about formation flying, especially with Rebels, especially lists such as this. It's crucially important. All right, so here's the tactic. So Rourke is going to give I-7 to the U-Wing all the way up front. And also, I believe he swarm tactics with Wedge into the B-Wing as well. So, and that's the great part. It's a B-Wing. It's Initiative 3. However, it's one of those annoying little ships that's, 4 points. And it gets to shoot before everyone else. And a lot of people are getting upset at it. Ooh, looks like hit and a crit. Ooh, rolls 2 blanks and a focus, it looks like. So he's going to spend his focus. Takes 1 shield on Arvel. Yeah, there he goes to I-6s. I'm sorry. I'm just saying, yeah, he swarm tactics with Wedge to the B-Wing. And listen, I was listening all night on people like, Jesus, wait, what? What can you... He's like, yeah, this I-7, this I-6, this I-6. So all my list is basically I-6s and a 7. So it's a really good tactic. All right. Ooh, looks like a blank and 2 focus. All right, spending the target lock instead of fire controls. Oh, looks like another focus. All right, so nothing. And Zach doesn't even roll his dice. I will say, you have to roll your dice. It's just one of those rules. And I know you're thinking, well, if I roll the dice and then it's not good, I could lose out on evades that I could get late. It's nonsense anyways, but you should roll your defensive dice. It's part of a thing. It can trigger something even if you do blank out, so just keep that in mind. Yep, so wedge and evaded. All right, so as I'm looking at the score sheet, it is 3-2. And it looks like Zach scored 2 points. Let me see. Zach scores 2, and he is at 3. Because it is the scenario to where you have to have your ships next to the satellite. And it looks like he's able to get Wedge, Arvel, and Wolf Wario within range 1 of more of the scenario tokens, while you've got 2 tubes and Rourke range 1 of the other 2. So pretty good start for both of them. You can only start scoring round 2, obviously, and I mean, looking this over, this was such a great match. I'm excited that we can bring this to you. I'm sorry, I haven't been doing this in a very long time, so I'm going to be very rusty, and we're going to try to get through it together. But while they're setting dials, basically, Robert has been doing a lot of whatchamacallit, dioramas. I've been now painting for actual clients and painting miniatures of all kinds. I've gotten a huge donation of ships and other things from local players such as Chuck Crawford, Rich Stable, and also Kenny, one of our local players. I've given away tons of ships. I've randomly popped people up in Reddit and mailed them ships, or mailing to new players. I just had a gentleman that's he lives in California, but he vacations in Brazil, so I sent him a bunch of stuff so that he can go back to Brazil and play X-Wing with people. I am meeting tons of people online. Running the league and the store has been almost like a full-time position, because I'm not only running tournaments like this, I'm running leagues, I'm running events like HOTAC, and side events like Aces High, and the other scenarios like Battle of Yavin, and all of that. It has been so much fun building the community locally, even though AMG is no longer supporting the game. So just because we stopped putting out videos, don't think like we're done with the game. As Robert and I have said before, even if they stopped X-Wing, which they no longer are supporting it, we would keep doing what it is that we do. It's just, unfortunately, life is getting in the way. That's, I've got 2 kids. Robert's got, I think, 4 kids. And, he's got his health to worry about. I've got, stuff happening around here, especially with work and all the other stuff. And it's just so much harder to make videos. Because trust me, I have like 7 video ideas that I can put out right now. And I was supposed to do this video weeks ago. I just haven't had a time to sit down. This is the first time. This is a Friday afternoon to where I just had to do a bunch of shopping and get back to it. So please don't worry. We will keep bringing you content as much as possible. All right, so the roll-off, it looks like Matt is going to be player 1, which again won't matter for the shooting because of Zach's plans. But we do have the movement at least to consider. All right. Ooh, spending Leia Organa with the Banthic 2 tubes. Wait, no. I'm sorry, with Rourke. Leia's on Rourke. And for those of you who are new to the game, fun story about Leia Organa is nobody, when the card first came out, considered that card to be competitive. And then FFG, or Fantasy Flight Games, who owned X-Wing at the time, said, you know what? The heck with it. We're running a tournament, and everyone has to take Leia. And guess what? All of a sudden, everyone saw the good of Leia, and you started seeing her a lot. So she is still just as good as she was when she first came out. And, ooh, there is the 0-stop 90-degree turn with the 2 tubes. He is preparing for that onslaught from Wolf Wario and Hera. Because, they're A-Wings. I mean, I might have gone all in on the A-Wings that one turn and then waited. But, because we've got now... Okay, maybe that's Arvel. I'm sorry. I think I messed up there. All right, Wedge is the one that is red, and Arvel's green. I'll change that in here, too, so that I don't forget. Green. And Arvel is red. There we go. Because killing those things, they're only 3 points, and getting half on them means nothing in this scenario. So I can understand why he decided to ditch and go after Hera, because Hera is a little bit more expensive. She's at 5 points, a little bit easier to kill. And also, she can pump out some damage, too. My only concern is Wolf Wario is now going to be that much closer. And he can do the Jan Wolf Wario trick and probably delete that B-Wing. The only thing is Rourke can allow him to shoot first, which is great. All right. And I'm sorry. I taught Zach this trick. Actually, no, not this trick. Sorry. He's using collision detector so that he can ignore that rock. I did teach him about how you can fail a barrel roll to, gain stress and a focus with Braylon. But yeah, no, he decided that this is a brilliant idea, and I agree, to purposely barrel roll onto rocks to mess with your opponent, because he still gets to shoot with collision detector, and now your opponent is going to misjudge where that ship was. Yep, yeah, there's Wolf Wario. And for those of you who don't know what that is an Ozatuk gunship that is created by the Wookiees. It's made out of a lot of spit and elbow grease and also wood. No, I'm not kidding, on the interior, because it is the Wookiees. But it has a 180 arc, so it can basically fire in the first part of its ship and go out the sides. There he is, taking the focus.
No, not that. I didn't expect my ship to be there.
So Zach was saying, "Oh, you didn't expect my ship to be there?" And Matt goes, "No, I wasn't expecting my ship to be there." So, I mean, again, Zach could also one-shot Wolf Wario with all the I-6 abilities that he has. Depends on what he did with Wedge. Hopefully he did the one bank with Wedge and slow rolled it, not did the two bank and bumping again. And then Benthix can do that, take target locks, do double mods for everybody. Like this could be a killer combo right here. It really depends on what happens. And I will say, if Wolf Wario is taken off the board before it can shoot, that's devastating for Matt. And there it is. Nimbly A-Wings, as always. So Wedge coming around the rock. All right, probably doing the one straight. Hopefully not going to hit that rock. Oh, good. Okay, he did the one bank. I'm very... I'm glad that he actually checked his dial. All right, excellent. Side arc is pointing out the right with Rourke and also out front. So he can have his option of shooting out the side or shooting out the front. Yeah, at this point, start banking those focus, because it's going to be a late game thing. There it is, slow rolling Jan, just so that she can do the extra attack die with Wolf Wario. And also, Jan is one of those traps as well. I remember playing against this list so many times. Jan's the trap. You don't really want to go after Jan, because as soon as you start to eliminate all the other ships, she starts to lose her punch as well. And if you spend so much time trying to eliminate her, it's one of those ships, it has like 3 focus by the time you get to her, 2 defense die, and then you're just wasting away. Unless you can, for some way, get like 3 proton torpedo shots on it or something to where you're like fully mod with 3 ships and 4 dice apiece, then that's it. Ooh, okay. That's what I think Matt was talking about when he said he wasn't expecting his ship to be there because he did the 2-bank with Hera. And taking 1 shield off of Hera. Not a good position right there. And again, it happens, you know, you judge distances poorly. I last night killed my my tri-fighter on a rock because I thought a 1 hard would clear. And literally, game of millimeters, I caught the corner of a rock and exploded and lost the game. as one does. All right, and Zach opting for the focus. All right, so I don't know what actions that 2Tubes took. I wonder if he forgot, because he did do Leia, which would turn that white and allow him to turn without being stressed. Yep, so he's going to put the B-Wing at I-7 with Rourke, and then he's going to swarm tactics 2Tubes from Wedge. So he's shooting an I-7, I-6, I-6. And I believe Hera is going to be able to shoot first, but unfortunately, with the bump, she's not going to have any modifications. All right, so this is from the B-Wing. Ooh, he needs the target lock. All right, yep, spends the target lock. There you go. That is paint on paint on paint, shooting at Hera. And looks like 4 damage. And 1 damage. No crits, luckily. Yeah, so now Hera is going to be able to shoot. I mean, this is a tough choice. You don't have the B-Wing. You may have Wedge, and then you've got 2Tubes. It really all depends on who Matt wants to barrel into on this turn. All right, yep. Oh, my board state. And this is what I love. So there are a lot of new players here. It's phenomenal. This has been a talked about topic on so many podcasts. Do not ever be afraid to call over a judge. Make the judge be the bad guy. And make them do it, like, because there's no pressure on me. If somebody calls me over, I'm going to mark my ships. I'm not shaky. You know, I'm not worried. I'm going to do what it takes to make sure that each player knows, and I'm not, you know, messing with the table or the board state. Ooh, hit, crit. You know, when natties just happen. All right, so he took his shot into the B-Wing. That's probably going to be where he's going with Wolf Wario. Okay, here we go. So, Jan Ors. And we already know that Swarm Tactics Hera gave that to Wolf Wario, which was big. Because if all of a sudden Zach had initiative, it is a free-for-all. Ooh, and it looks like 4 hits into the B-Wing. Yeah, so he's going over it with Zach. So because of Jan, with adding a die, the damage, and range 1, he gets 6 attack dice. All right, so it looks like 2 more damage into the B-Wing. So 1 shield and then 2 face down. So that B-Wing survived. That's huge. Maybe Jan will be able to finish him off at range what looks like 3. But first, we got to see if he can take out Hera with 2Tubes and also Wedge. He may have a focus behind 2Tubes. I can't see him. Oh, maybe he's figuring it out now. Nope. All right. 2 focus, it looks like. He's spending it. Okay, there are focus back there. Good. Ooh, 2 more damage. She's down to 1 health. Matt's saying she just doesn't want to roll defense. Listen, I rolled 1 die for my scimitar about 6 times last night. I came up with 6 blanks. It's, you know, that's just how it rolls sometimes. All right, Wedge gonna do. Yep, because Wedge makes it to where she doesn't get a defense. He doesn't spend the focus and gets Hera. That's a big first turn for Zach. I'm not going to lie. Taking out Hera and then keeping the B-Wing on that 2 health. This is, I mean, if Matt can take out this B-Wing, I wouldn't say a fair trade, but that's a good trade. Yep, there's the target lock. All right, so that is probably going to be a dead B-Wing. Because I think he rolled a focus. Yep. Oh, yeah, 2 damage. Just enough to take out that B-Wing. Like, if he just were to rolled 1 of 8, he would have lived and been oh so annoying for 1 more turn. Especially making it I-7 and letting you get a shot off. So, score right now is going to be 7-7, so we are tied. We still got some shots. We've got Wedge coming in. I think Arvel may have a shot on 2 tubes, and also Rourke. But as they just said, it is a slugfest right now. That is 2 rounds of shooting that are absolutely big. But that's the Rebels for you. Ooh, man. And natties. Well, not natties. Ooh. That is a hit. And a... Oh, okay. Never mind. He rolled enough. He took 1 shield on Wedge. So Wedge is at half right now. Yep. And there's Arvel from downtown. Oh, never mind. That is... Oh, I messed up again. Don't worry. Again, Rusty, I'll get good. Because that is Wedge. So we got to fix this. Alright, but the red one is down 2 shields. Which is Arvel. No, I was right the first time. I'm sorry again. So, Wedge is the green one at the top. But he has his shields. Arvel is down 2 shields. Alright, perfect. So, with the ships down, they both score 2 more objectives because that... which ones? We've got the middle one to where the Rebels get it, plus the one Rourke is on. And we had the one with Jan, and then also Wedge have it. So they add another 2 to their score. And it's still tied at 9-9. That's not what they have written down here. They wrote down 11. Or 10. Let's see. They scored 0, so 5. And that. Their math ain't mathin'. Yeah, 3, 4, 5. That's 10. Okay, he has 10, actually. He has... Why isn't that not adding up correctly? Hare's dead. Just 5. And I've given him 5. Something's not adding up. It's supposed to be 9-10 because Hare is supposed to be 5 points, but for some reason it's just doing 4. And I don't want to mess with it right now. Because I know if I add more, it's going to be... Like, I can add that and make it the correct score. Alright, so it is 9-10. Zach is down by 1 point. But compared to losing a Blade veteran for 4 and Hera, which is now going to turn off swarm tactics, Wolf Wario's in a pretty good position because it's going to be hard to determine where it's going to be, and also for Wedge and 2 tubes to get a full shot on Wolf Wario. But that would be, I think, the next target you should go after, if possible, and wait for also Jan to come in and then try to sneak attack her. But Zach really needs to protect Rourke, and Matt needs to keep Wolf Wario just pumping that damage with full mods, if possible. Alright, and also back to Recon Paint Gaming. So, I plan to do more painting videos, especially with the Star Wars ships. Because, again, you can't even imagine how many ships that I was gifted from local players. So I'm going to try to do more videos on that. I'm going to try to do more videos on tactics and playing different variations of the game, HOTAC tutorials, and stuff like that. We're going to try to do more tournaments like this and bring it to you guys and show you the prizes for that. Because, again, we've got prizes now for years, as well as tournaments like this really do generate a lot of revenue for the store because of the fact that I have my own prize support, so prize support doesn't go to the prizes because I already have the prizes, so then the money's going to stock up. I'm going to contact XWA, start buying those prize kits to help generate for them. I know they don't make any money off of them, but it does help that they know people are willing to buy it. Oh, and we are also on turn 3. Can't forget that. Turn 3 counter. All right, so here comes Wedge, not Arvel, Wedge, screaming in on 2 tubes. 2 tubes was able to pivot again with the 0 stop. All right, looks like that boost failed. It's interesting that... See, now I think that is Arvel because Arvel can't boost it to... Yeah. All right, we'll do it one more time. So that is Arvel. Arvel is green. And Wedge is red. I know Wedge has no shields and Arvel has 2 shields. All right. Yeah, Wedge is up there with 2 shields. I don't know how that's working then.
You're not wrong.
At least one of my ships will be able to hit you.
Yeah. All right, my 4s.
All right, I'm curious where Wolf... I was expecting 2 hard turn. That's what I was expecting. And yes, I was there at the store, but I don't remember. This was months ago. Ooh, okay, he's going to bump. Not going to really matter because he can just take the focus anyways with the stress. The question is what's Wedge going to do? Is Wedge going to do a 2 bank, or is he going to try to do the sloop behind Wolf Wario? And that is exactly where you want Wedge to be, right behind Wolf Wario, letting Wolf Wario tug away, and then have Wedge just ripping through that hull and shield, trying to whittle him down. Because then, at that point, yeah, Jan's alive, but she can bump up the A-Wings, but again, the A-Wings are really not going to be wanting to be your damage at that point. You really wanted it to be Hera or Wolf Wario. Okay, opting with the 1 bank. It's going to be an interesting position for next turn, because you're going to have to 2 hard out. And also, you have that rock in the way. All right, and what did one Mr. Wedge do? All right, went for the 1 bank. It's the safe bet. He won't be shooting this turn, but he'll have a better idea of where to go next turn with the Talon roll on either the left or right. I mean, honestly, a Talon roll to the left would be pretty good, because then you have the A-Wings and also Wolf Wario. You've got 2 tubes that can start to block things and prevent them from getting damage through. But I am a little worried about Rourke right now. And I don't know if Matt is going to decide to go for Rourke or with 2 tubes. Honestly, I would go for possibly Rourke this turn. Get that i7 engine out of there. And because 2 tubes isn't in the greatest position to be doing anything for the rest of the game on how blocked up it is. Oh, except for hit crit right out of the gate. Oh, and that is blank focus. Yeah. Oh, man, that is Arvel gone. Or that is Wedge gone, rather. Oh, that's heartbreaking. And for those of you, why didn't he spend the focus? It wouldn't have mattered. It would have been hit. If he spent the focus for an evade, it still would have been hit crit and he would have been dead.
So your other 6 doesn't have a shot. So my 5. I think we're shooting at.
Pounding everything in the benthic.
I think we are. Yeah. So it'll be.
Okay, I think he says he's pounding into benthic.
Not through a rock because it'll be.
Because I don't think that Rourke can I7 boost himself. Unless it's range 0. And here I come again, calling me for the... And, oh, it's in... Yeah, ships are not in their own arc. So it is to where... And I'm sorry, I don't have the game timer going either. I told you I was rusty. I don't even have the game timer on the screen, so we're good. And they're asking if it's through the rock right now. Mind my head. And I was telling him because it's slightly tilted just one way, it doesn't go through the rock.
You're down to 1, right? Yep. Because you're at Arval, it'll be -2.
Oof. And Arval's touching him with intimidation. So that's -1. And also his wings, I believe he said, was closed. So that's minus another defense die. And now they're just doing the math on the defense die. So that's basically why Arval boosted in, because he wanted that reduction of the defense die. So I think he's only rolling 1 die on a range 3 shot, which is pretty crazy. It looks like 2 hits. Oop, there's an evade. So 1 shield. All right. And it looks like going into Arval. Oof. Only 1 focus. Do you spend it? Yeah, he's going to spend it. Why not? I mean, oh, 2 evades. I don't know. I don't think I would have spent it because, again, you're the focus battery. The chances of harming Arval would be slim to none. But, you know, it is what it is. And here comes the dreaded 6-die attack. And it looks like all of those are hits. He doesn't get to roll any dice. So those are just going straight into Benthic. All right, it doesn't look like all hits. It looks like it was 4 hits, but still. All right, and Arval, range 0 shooting into Benthic. He gets no defense dice. So that is just basically a dead 2 tubes. That is an excellent turn for Matt. That is just the bad luck for Zach when it comes to that. I don't think he understood what intimidation did, as well as closing the wings, reducing his agility. And that's going to put Matt in the super lead at 15-12. Which, wait a minute, how did... Oh, because he got Arval, that's right. And right now they're measuring for the objectives. So I don't think he got the middle one, because it looks like Matt got 2 objectives and Zach got 1. So right now it says the score is 13-17. That is 100% accurate. Still anyone's game at this moment. You still have Wedge and Rourke with the I7 shenanigans. He can't give himself I7, but still he can give Wedge I7 for no reason whatsoever. And you can basically stay. You've got Wolf Wario who's stressed. You've got Arval who's stressed. You have to get the Hawk out of there. You don't want to be doing the same thing with 2 tubes and get him jammed up with Arval and let Wolf Wario just roll over you with those 7 attack die again. Jan is in an interesting spot. I think the 1 bank right is going to maybe clear that rock and allow him to clear the stress, and then allow Wolf Wario again to pump out those focus. But the Wedge for 2 tubes was not a good trade this turn. All right. Ooh, good on you, Matt. So he allowed Zach to add a target lock to Wolf Wario because Wedge does have R3 and allows him to take an extra target lock because I believe that's the action he wanted to take. I don't remember if Wedge took a focus or not. But good on you, Matt. A lot of players would say no. They would say absolutely not. That was 6 turns ago. Oh, and we are also on to turn 4. Excellent. I want to take the time to thank the Battle Standard for allowing us to put on the tournament. Not only were we having a tournament, there was in the table right where you can see that gentleman's legs on the right, they were having a Legion tournament, and I think there was like 15 players playing in that. There was also a Magic tournament, and then there was some tournament, some ancient Chinese marble game going on down in their basement because they can house like 120 people in their basement. So that day was incredibly busy. Thank you for letting us host this, or thank you for hosting this tournament and letting us play, especially when so much was already going on. Like everyone was so happy. Even the Legion people were seeing us playing X-Wing. They were happy to see us. We were happy to see them. Like no one complained about anyone and not having enough room. There was, I believe, even a D&D session going on behind us. Like, I can't express how amazing this place is and how large it is. There we go. Yeah, you could see Matt walk around the table making sure that one bank clears because this is a turn where you want every single thing to go right. You want Jan to give Wolf Wario what he needs if he can. If not, give it to Arvel. And you do not want to land Jan on a rock this turn. Because that would be double bad. That would mean she'd stay stressed, can't use her mechanic, and then you'd have to worry about possibly taking damage on her. And I'm hoping this is the turn that Wedge does the 3 Talon, hopefully to the left, because that would give him tons of space. He'd be able to either start pumping into Arvel or Wolf Wario, which he really needs to start getting Wolf Wario down. Because then that would be the attack engine that would just make the list lose a lot of its punch. All right, so Matt has player 1. Oh, and what everyone forgets, even myself, the Hawk can carry bombs. So I'm just hoping that Arvel doesn't Arvel and block Rourke and getting hit by his own bomb. I'm hoping the Hawk did like a 3 bank and is getting out of dodge. Yep, so putting down Arvel, 2 bank, and bonk. Which again, that's not the worst position for Arvel, because if Rourke did the 1 straight or the 1 bank, it could really start to muck things up. Which is why Arvel excels at it. Ooh, did I hear a 3 straight? Okay, I was expecting... he does need to clear his stress. He is ahead on points, so it's not a bad tactic. I was expecting the 2 hard turn, but not a bad spot for Wolf Wario. Even if he does get ioned, he's still just going to tug around and collect points on that objective. Especially since Wolf Wario only has 1 damage on him from this whole game. All right, there's the 3 straight. Good. He foresaw the Arvel. All right. So, good bomb placement. You're going to ionize 2 ships. And hopefully, I'm hoping that Wedge did that Talon roll. Because Wedge has the R3 Astromech, so he already has a lock on Jan and Wolf Wario. He really needs to start hitting damage quick, because Looks like Wolf Wario is going to get a point. Also, Jan may get a point this turn from objectives. Again, it depends on what Wedge did, because that middle objective might be contested. Because all it takes is Matt 3 turns, and he wins just by gathering up objectives at this point. No, he went that. Oh, okay. Whew. I thought that was going to go on the rock. All right, so going after Jan. Not a bad idea. He's got the target lock. He could, possibly take down some points here. The issue is how is Wedge going to continue to shoot into Jan after this turn? All right, so it looks like 1 hit, 1 crit. Looks like another crit, maybe. There we go. Oh, never mind. Oh, he should have re-rolled that focus. He forgot to re-roll that focus. And it looks like a hit and a focus. He's debating to spend the focus. All right, so it looks like 1 shield on Wedge. Yeah, and Matt's playing it right. He's keeping the focus for defense. He, at this point, knows his victory is just to keep his ships alive and gather up objective points. Yep. So gets him with the ions. At least they're not going to be moving for a while, but Rourke and Wedge are out of position to capitalize on this. And Rourke shooting in. Ooh, 3 hits into RV. Oh, and there is Matt's defensive dice. I think he even said, at the end of the day, his dice just didn't want to roll for defense. But there's 2 points down on Wedge. Or on Arvel, rather. That's why I was thinking if maybe Wedge went the other way, he could have started taking out Arvel. And that would have been a nice 3 points for him, and then it would have been a much closer game. All right, so it looks like for objectives, it looks like Matt scored 2 and Zach didn't score any. Because the middle one, Wedge was just out of the middle one. And we've got a 19 to 13 point game. All right, so, this is going to be obviously the last turn because Wolf Wario has to do a 1 straight or bank and is going to be in range of that objective. There is no way for Wedge or Rourke to prevent that. So either Matt or Zach is going to win. I'm not going to spoil it just yet. And I don't know where he's going to be able to go with either ship. Rourke can 2-hard turn, try to take out Jan with the joust. Wedge can try to maybe, 1 bank or 2 bank and try to maybe finish off Arvel, even shooting through the rock, or even a 1 straight and take a target lock on Arvel and try to finish him off for some points. But, this is a game of positioning. You do have to try to foresee the next turn for yourself. And I got to say, both of these players are incredibly nice, polite, great players to play against, because I believe, standing... Yeah, you can see me walking in the background. I was constantly checking in with my local players. And I believe Matt came with the other crew that's from out east in Massachusetts. And I couldn't have asked for a better group of players to come and play. All right. Zach says, "Why the heck not?" Drops another bomb. If you got him, if you bring him, drop him. And that's I really do like ion bombs. I know a lot of people don't see their usefulness, basically, if you can slow someone down for a turn, it's crucial. Keeps them from turning around for one more turn. Keeps them out of combat for one more turn. You just have to understand that that's the turns that you need to capitalize. And that's where you got to make sure that when it does go off, you have something in position to take care of it. And what my problem is I'll hit someone with an ion bomb, or I'll deter ships from going certain directions. And it sucks when you've made it to where the person is exactly where you want them to be. You've got all the things in place, and you blank out. You're like, why do I even bother? Yep, there's the 2. Oh, wait, is he doing a 3 hard? Oh, okay. Little things about Leia. He thought that it makes your... Yeah, he thought it reduces your difficulty on whites to blues, but Matt was just telling him, no, it makes reds white. It doesn't make whites blue. Yeah, and he grabbed... Okay, that's what I thought. He grabbed the wrong template. He was supposed to do it 2 hard. So, unfortunately, Rourke is going to stay stressed. But that's okay. Because, again, I don't want anyone to, give them a hard time. Zach is a fairly new player. I forget how long Matt's been playing. But they're learning. This is why I hosted this tournament to only be 3 rounds. I didn't want a top cut. I didn't want... Well, we didn't have time for a top cut. But I didn't want to all of a sudden just drag new players into not having a good time. I really wanted them to enjoy themselves. Get a little, competitive action under their belt. And really get a feel for what it's like to play a game, take a break for 10 minutes, come back, play another game, take a break for lunch. Oh, yeah, there's the 2 bank, unfortunately. And, that's the risk you take. He really needed to for the win. But I wanted the players to really, especially the new ones, get a look at what it was in order to play a little bit competitive, or at least play a game consecutively over and over again in the same day. And I really think they enjoyed it, and they're looking forward to the next match. All right, so we already saw the handshake. That's going to be it. Because Wedge is on a rock, which is an a debris cloud, he can't shoot. And unfortunately, I think he was able to dodge with Jan as well out of Rourke's arc. And they just called it there. So the end score was 21-14. Zach was able to get this, I believe, the center. And then we have Matt getting the top one with, or no, not the top one, the bottom one with Wolf, and I think the other one with the top right one with Jan. But yeah, Zach was saying that the turn of the game was when 2 tubes just went down, which I completely agree. The 90-degree pivot, I think he should have done the 2 hard instead, and keep 2 tubes alive for a little bit longer. But I think Rourke would have just been destroyed instead of 2 tubes. But then Arvel did the whole intimidation factor and really made it to sure where 2 tubes died that turn. But all in all, great game on both players. They both came in with their tactics. Both were working. The mechanics were working perfectly. The I-7 from Rourke with the swarm tactics was absolutely amazing. The Wolf Wario Jan combination, it's great to see it, especially 2 A-wings on the table. One of my favorite ships ever. Having both of them using Arvel to the max, Wedge just plucking damage, but then the green dice just didn't hold up, which I can definitely relate to. My green dice don't hold up when I take A-wings either. All right, so that's the end of round 1. We will record round 2 shortly and get it out for you guys, but thank you so much. Please click on the like and also leave a comment below on what you think about anything. AMG ending the support, X-Wing Alliance taking it up, the new X-Wing Alliance points, the possible new scenarios we might see, what you would like to see, and all that jazz, because we're definitely going to be doing videos on it in the future. So thank you guys for watching. Have a good one, and have fun.